Oh man, there it is. The reason I didn't go home for a month. All right, so this is our Porsche 996 slant nose prototype that we built at what? We just finished it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I say finished, it's not finished, but it's painted and it presents well. If you wanna know any more about that, there's literally over 20 videos in a playlist on our YouTube channel. Check it out. I like I said too much about it otherwise, because you can learn all there.
And here we have a 88 930. We just did a transmission rebuild and some camshafts and a couple of little maintenance items. So this is about ready to go back on the road for summer.
And for those who don't know, it is a turbo. A 930 is a turbo. So the classic 911 whale tail turbo, the Widowmaker, here it is. Speaking of Widowmakers, your 914, which is not a 6, but it is a 6, right?
Correct. It may be the stiffest 914 that doesn't have a roll cage in it.
That is true. I would agree with that. When I started working here, this is the first thing I worked on in the shop. Yeah, just painted it, and I was wet sanding and buffing it, and I had never wet sanded and buffed in my life, other than to denib. But where's the time going? Anyway, yeah, this car is sweet. Tell us more about it, Tony. Or tell the internet more about it. I know all about it.
Oh, tons of custom things. So front and rear bumpers are custom. Yeah, lots of bodywork stuff, little trim bits and odds and ends, twin oil coolers up front. A super killer 2.8 liter 6-cylinder that spent some time in an actual 914-6 GT.
Which ironically was the 914-6 GT, the Sunoco one, right? That sold at auction for just under $1 million, like 2 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, that car.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. The best part is all the little dimple dies. I love the dimple dieing work you did to this. I actually didn't do any of the fab work on this car, which makes me sad because I like doing fab work. But yeah, Tony, you did a lot of this, didn't you? The dimple die work?
Yep. It was front suspension to rear suspension. So yeah, we tied all the rear suspension points together into longitudinals, strengthened all of that, and then ran it up through to the front suspension and tied all those points together, and still weighs less than an original 6-cylinder.
Then beside your car is the, what year is that? 75?
74?
Yes, 74 911. That actually is a Targa that we converted to be a cabriolet after somebody else converted it really poorly. Yeah, I put a lot of work into this car. So basically, long story short, car came to us, it needed floors, it needed a front pan because of rust. It's a 74, like you said. So it's pre-galvanization. It was partially galvanized at that point.
Correct.
Anyway, so we had 2 rear clips from 2 different wrecked mid-80s 911s, so Carreras, that we took the inner structure and the outer quarter panels. I re-straightened them and welded them onto this car. Reskinned this door, fixed that door, fixed the fenders. Yeah, a lot of work onto this car, and now it has an actual functioning. That's not hooked up yet. Top that closes. That's the other thing we did this too as well. I made our own proprietary chassis stiffening, kind of like this car, underneath the rockers that you can't even see, and it should handle a lot better actually.
We got another 911 Targa. This one's still a Targa.
It's still a Targa, and it will stay a Targa.
Yes, but we're going to do a complete repaint and freshening on the outside, as well as we are in the process of rebuilding the engine on this one.
Ooh, I forgot about this one.
Etna Blue. I love Etna Blue.
Etna Blau.
Etna Blau. Thank you.
Blau.
Thank you for your German.
Yeah, it was 60, not 60, I'm sorry. I don't know what year it is.
This car?
Yeah.
1960.
Is it 60?
Yeah.
I can never get the years right. Yeah, this is a 1960 356B coupe.
Yes.
That we did a rotisserie restoration on, you know, show quality paint, you name it, full interior, blah, blah, blah. Here it is. It is nice.
And we didn't do full interior. We did seats, carpet.
That's right.
Seats, carpet, dash.
Seats, carpet, dash is correct. We were
Seats, carpet,
retaining
dash.
a lot of the original stuff.
And headline.
Yep. And a lot of the chromie did not redo or replace.
Correct.
Some of we did. What else we got back here?
1969 911 bare chassis.
Nice.
Needs some work, but
A little bit.
It's a complete car.
It's your car.
And here,
it's his car.
It is my car.
He's avoiding saying it, but it is his car. I mean, that's gonna be a fun project because you're doing a lot of like resto body stuff to it, right?
Yeah.
Well, probably end up being a video. Because Tony did tell me, so Tony's not a body man by trade, he's more of a mechanic / admin stuff here, but mainly mechanic, I would say. Anyway, he told me when we were working the slant nose that he was going to do all the body work himself on his car.
Yes.
All of it. So from where it sits now and just epoxy and metal up through. Anywho, moving on, what's under the carpet here? What's under the cover here?
Another, yep.
I love this car.
Flares, 916 rear bumper, I'm sorry, 916 front bumper, 914 6 GT rear bumper. This car shows really well in the sun. This color, I should say, shows really well in the sun.
It's a shame the sun's not in here.
No, it's not.
But this is for sale.
Mexico blue.
Mexico blue, correct. And it is actually what, a Huffaker chassis. It was one of the first tube chassis Boxsters that were raced. And it's one of 3 that are grandfathered to race top 2.
One of two that, grandfathered to race open top in SCCA because this car was built in '98 before they had a rule saying you had to have a hard top.
If this is something you're interested in buying, you can shoot us an email, you can shoot us offers, or we can start a conversation. Otherwise, you might find it on Bring a Trailer someday, or we might post it up for sale.
Or on the track, because you missed your opportunity.
That's true too. This one I actually know nothing about because I haven't worked on it. So I'm gonna leave this to Tony.
1971 911E.
What's it here for?
What's it here for? Service work. And actually it turns out we're gonna do a decent amount of service work. So it's a nice little car. Needs some work, brake stuff, calipers, blah, blah, blah.
The paint looks really nice and the fit and finish of the car is really nice. So whoever restored it or resto modded it did a good job.
Yes.
That's the first thing I noticed when the car came in was that it just looked like it was well done. And we're in the body shop / fab area / dungeon.
/fun.
/fun, TM. Tony's body shop. Tony's body shops. I cannot talk. Blah, blah, blah.
Say flashy chassis 3 times fast.
Flashy chassis.
And so here we have the hunting cart.
Woo!
Yes, based on parts from a Porsche 914. I mean, it's all the running gear from a 914. Suspension, brakes, engine, transmission, even things like pedals and shifter.
We got the good stuff on this, don't worry. So yeah, this will be running soon, and eventually we'll be building a body for it. So keep an eye out for that. There are a couple little secret elements about that as well that are super exciting that we're not allowed to talk about. Yeah, so let's talk about the fab area very quickly. I would say the first thing you see when you walk in here is this ginormous English wheel we have, right?
Yeah.
I love this thing. This is my pride and joy. You're not allowed to touch it, and that's pretty much it. Now this is a Metal Ace 44F Imperial English wheel. It's cast iron. It weighs, I think it's like 1,500 pounds. It was actually owned by Chris Runge at one point. He signed it and wrote the vehicles he built on it. So it's got some history, believe it or not, even though it's a newer wheel that's modeled after an old style wheel. If you're not familiar with what an English wheel is, it is for adding shape to sheet metal. So it's stretching, it's stretch form. So you put dies in the bottom with different radiuses, you put pressure, you roll them back and forth, and you get these flowing, beautiful curves that are the vehicles that you see us make. All right, Tony, pick a tool.
Brian. Got him.
I'm sad now.
Our shear converted to a full max?
Yeah, he's not unsure about that one. It is a shear that is now a Liebert shear that was converted to be a Pullmax style reciprocating sheet.
Yes, and we use that for shrinking.
Correct. And we will eventually be using it to add profiling as well once I make the dies that I have in my head. And I started to 3D print. And actually, yeah, that's one of the things that we do here is 3D print. Let's show you some 3D printers. The lighting here so you can see. Yeah, we have 3 3D printers that are pretty much have at least one running at all times. Sometimes it's dumb stuff, sometimes it's serious things. But yeah, I've been 3D printing tooling for the shop, so I actually have 3D printed like dies for the bead roller. I've test 3D printed profiling dies for the reciprocating hammer Pullmax machine, the Liebert shear. We don't have a full name for it because it's kind of a converted tool. So yeah, we print things like useful things like exhaust mock-up pieces that can clip together. Basically, you can use these to mock up your exhaust that you're fabricating. There's little plastic pieces snapped together, and it's like kind of like the Iceworks things you could buy for kits like $700, or you could buy a $400 3D printer and print them yourself. Stonks.
And we have lots of other things like another English wheel, planishing hammer, bead roller, kick, shrinker, stretcher.
Yep.
We got a mini lathe and a mini mill, very handy for little things, odds and ends.
Many things.
Box brake.
Cutters, plasma cutter. We have a little CNC robot.
Yeah.
We're doing some of that soon too, so.
All the things we need to build really cool cars.
Yeah, and that's what this area is for and what the channel is for. We're building really cool cars. We'll be building things like little go-karts, and we have the hunting car. We have full-size, coach-built vehicles of the highest quality you can imagine.
Starting with a Porsche.
Starting with a Porsche, that is our specialty. If you can't tell, Porsche is our specialty, and that's what we're going to build off of. And that's something that we could do for you as well, so slide in the DMs. To the main shop!
It's true.
Yeah, here it is. The main shop.
There's our pile of leftovers from the slant nose.
Shh, don't film that.
We're not sure.
This is where in-process engines get stored as we clean and inspect and organize, get ready for reassembly.
I will add that it's, when he says this is there, there's actually like probably 10 or more of these cabinets full of engines parts. Not this is just one cabinet.
Yeah, we can't fit them all in one cabinet.
You know,
it's like the wardrobe. And you just, once you go inside, it just keeps going in the back, yeah.
I want to leave. Take me home.
So this is the part of the shop where we take care of the mechanical side of our Coachworks project. So if we need an engine for our Coachworks project,
We do.
we put it in here. We build it here. Suspension,
We do.
mostly happens here. Sometimes it happens over there. I was going to say this is where the magic happens, but this is like the stuff that happens behind the scenes that you can't see.
Yeah.
Behind the magic.
All right, so the thumbnail is now out of the way. Something I hate doing. Can we talk about the next build yet, Tony?
No, we can't. No, we're not ready. They're not ready.
Somewhere in this video is our next build. Drop a comment below if you can guess which it is. We'll pick a lucky commenter and we'll send you a keychain or something. What do you think, Tony? Is that fair? Please don't hurt me.
It's fair.
I think I twisted my ankle.